Hey friends, Audrey Henley here, and today I'm doing a little check-in on the end of the year, how my writing has gone this year, and also the end of the decade. I'll do a little comparison of where I was with my writing in 2009 versus 2019, and it's certainly been a journey, so stay tuned. Let's talk about writing this past decade. In 2009, actually had just started writing. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school at that point, and I had just started writing fan fiction. And you want to know what fandom I was in? It was iCarly. So I was writing iCarly fan fiction. I really liked Sam and Freddie's relationship, and so I focused on that. And even before that, in middle school, I was really into Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I had a little blog on TV.com, and I would write stories in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender on there. But I did look at my old fan fiction writing, and it's really cute and terribly punctuated. I really got the characters well, but you know, the writing quality was not there. But people have so many nice comments. I'm not sure if the world, like the internet, was a nicer place back in 2009, but I feel like if you posted a story that crappy today, people might not be as nice, or like, I don't know, it was just a really young readership, and they were all very nice and thought I was writing great. So it's just really fun to look back and see how far you've come. 2009, I was writing iCarly fanfiction, and then 2019, I finished my third novel in my own original world. It's certainly been a journey. I think I've grown a lot as a writer. But yeah, let's delve into a little bit about what this year specifically, 2019, has taught me about writing and about, I guess, the writing journey in general, and author career, and specifically about authortube, because I joined authortube this year. I keep forgetting the month I joined. I think it was like August or September or October, but I've definitely learned a lot by being part of the authortube community instead of just watching, you know. I think a big thing I've learned about authortube is about the algorithm, right? The YouTube algorithm, because I heard a lot of creators complain about it before I joined, and I was like, whatever, no big deal, you just have to have good content, right? You go to YouTube, right, and you're like, I have some really great informative content that people could find really useful. It's like a how-to video. That sounds extremely boring. No one's gonna watch that. Pick something else. Okay then, if you don't like that, why don't I try, like, I don't know, like a feelings video, like a vlog maybe? I'll give you a few more views for that, but should really try something else. Okay, how about a ranty video reacting to some popular topic that everyone's talking about nowadays, and not very well thought out, but I'll just spit my thoughts out there. That's a great idea. I'm gonna give you 3 times more views on those videos. Sound good? So that is what the YouTube algorithm is like. It gives views to reactionary videos, and like, I know I'm on a small, you know, platform, and I definitely don't see the same things as bigger creators would, but the numbers stack up. Like, people watch more controversial videos, way more than any of the other ones, so it definitely holds up. I've seen so many writers this year start authortube and then, you know, have really great content and everything and give up because they didn't have time to balance authortube and writing, which, to be fair, it is a lot to balance. And me, you know, I kind of came in from the start doing 1 video a week, whatever I felt like filming. That's worked out for me, and I just wish authortube was a little more sustainable for people, but you know, writing is such a hard thing already, and then to add YouTube on top of it, I understand why a lot of people get tired out and quit. But it's just really sad to see a lot of people who are writing cool stories and have a lot of cool insight to share logging off the platform. So I wish there was something we could do to make it more sustainable or something, but that's something I've thought about a lot with authortube. And for a little bit of background, I started authortube when the ArtGate arcs are free, that stuff happened, and I did have a video talking about that, and got more views than almost anything else on the channel. That's how it goes. But I don't know, I've seen a resurgence in authortube, but I've also seen a lot of really great authors log off. But I will say that people like Kevlandia, shout out, are doing really great things for the community, like talking about other people's videos and his videos, commenting on everyone's videos, setting up a really great Secret Santa type exchange that a lot of us film together. Things like that, I think, are really helping build the community up. But it's slow going, and I guess there's a lot of regrowth and there's a lot of the same things happening. People are being quicker to point it out, I feel like. And so I think authortube is gonna grow, and I really have high hopes for 2020. I think we're just gonna keep getting better, so yay. Okay, enough about YouTube and authortube. As far as my writing, as you all know, I've shelved my little post-apocalyptic story and I've started working on Ghostpocalypse. Just a little recap for those of you who may not know. Ghostpocalypse is about a really skilled medium who gets a reality TV show after the Ghostpocalypse happens. It's more of a comedy than like a true post-apocalyptic. It's more of like a paranormal or an urban fantasy, if you will. I'm not sure which term to use yet, but something like that. So I've really, this year's been all about letting go of things, knowing when to stop trying, when to move on to a new project. And I will say that the saving grace was that when I was querying my true post-apocalyptic book, while I was querying that, I was also writing the next thing, and I fell in love with that manuscript. And so when I had to shelve a post-apocalyptic book, it wasn't as hard because I had my ghost book on the side. And just, I guess, being real with myself and knowing what is actually going to work and what isn't. And it was very tough to do, but I did it. And I've moved on. I still think my post-apocalyptic book is good and worth reading, but I'm just hoping for the trend to come back around and I can pull it out. A lot of people are saying like all the vampire books people were trying to query in the 2012s will like 2010s would do good now. I think that's probably true. I think I really learned a lot about my writing pace, and something that surprised me, I guess, is that I'm really like attuned to writing now. Like it's definitely not a daily habit, but the thoughts about my stories and the ideas, they never stop coming. Even when I'm really stressed, like at my day job, I've been really tempted to quit some days, like just give my 2-week notice and feeling like existential dread all the time. But then I'll get an idea for my story. I don't know. So even if I'm in the like grips of like a really bad mindset, the story still comes through and is still there, which is weird to me. Like nothing else is like that for me. I used to play piano and I would use it as like a de-stressor thing, but I haven't played piano for like 5 years and that's fine. But writing, it's always there in some form or another. You know, in college I was writing a lot more nonfiction type things, a lot of memoir-y stuff, a lot of bad poetry, you know, but it was still writing, and I was in, you know, the depths of depression at that point in my life, and I was just still writing. And so like I was tempted to think it was because of depression, but actually I'm learning that like I was writing in spite of that, and I'm kind of going to write no matter what. And it's sort of freeing in a way, because no matter what else is going on around me, I'm definitely going to write. So the productivity definitely depends on my happiness and other aspects of my life, but the desire and the yearning and the ideas for writing, for stories, they never go away. And so I think that is a big thing that's going to help me, because I feel like just from hearing what other people say who have been published, it just seems like the biggest thing is persistence to getting traditionally published, because there are so many roadblocks, there's so much chance, there's so much subjective, like people have to like your story subjectively. Still having ideas, fresh ideas, like continuing to write novels, even if you don't know they're gonna sell, like I think that's a good thing to have, like persistence and still writing. I hope for some of my friends who maybe have been really frustrated this year, I just always think you can take a break and come back. Like I no longer have that fear that I'm going to step away from my writing for a month and never come back, because it always comes back. And I realize that might not be the case for everyone, but I think for a lot of writers, it's kind of an itch. Like it is a thing that just is there and never goes away. So, and it's such like a self-selecting field. Like no one tells you to be a writer ever. They're never like, that's a good career choice. We all go into writing because we like storytelling and we're addicted to books. I don't know. That's just something I've thought about this 2019. So I'm going to link below to a blog post I've done about, it's going to outline, so I did a blog post like this in 2018, and it was what I did this year and then next year's goals. So this blog post in 2019 is like a response to the goals I did in 2018, how I did them, my new goals, and sort of just like a summary of extra things. Like I did not actually plan on doing an authortube channel, but I obviously did, so I put that on the list. Things like that. So definitely check out that blog post. I'm trying to vlog more. That's part of my 2020 goals. So I will definitely try to like link supplementary content in my blog to videos, because I feel like it's so helpful to have like stuff to look at as well as like listen to, or like just like worksheets or like extra information or links. So I'm really trying to like find a way to combine vlogging with blogging, you know? And I think my other goals are mostly like writing related, and then also just trying to find a way to be happy at my day job. Sorry if I'm oversharing. I just, it really does affect how my writing's going. And started querying, to be honest. It was like soul-sucking. So just finding ways to continue to write. I only got out of like the depths of depression like 2 years ago, honestly, 2 years ago. That's when I started doing writer Twitter again, got back into the groove. Or actually, you know, I kind of had a bit of a presence, but I really got into Twitter around 2017 and just really grew as a writer and started seeking out critique partners and doing all the things I had to do. And so since then, I've written a book each year, and I know it's only been 2 years. Okay, you've done it 2 years in a row, but can you keep doing it? But I just am feeling really heartened to think that I'm like finishing a manuscript a year, and I want to keep doing that. So huzzah, 2020 goals. I really love the end of the year. I love hearing what everyone's up to. So please let me know down below what your goals are for 2020. Link to any wrap-up videos you have. And I just love to hear how the year's been for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week. Bye.